Good afternoon, viewers. Today is Monday, September 11th, 2023. How you all doing today? How's everything going? First of all, a moment of silence for all the innocent lives that were lost on 9/11, 22 years ago today. All seriousness aside now, on to comedy. I got the light for the first time yesterday. Anybody who's gone to an open mic knows what the light is. Basically, the light is when the MC, they hold up their camera for you, their phone with the light. It means you got a minute, because usually at open mic you get in anywhere from roughly 5 minutes. If you go to like some of the more packed open mics in major cities, quite often they only give you 3 minutes. But I got timed out. I didn't know this, but on YouTube, apparently you get timed out after 15 minutes unless you're a premium member or something like that. But you know what? It's still, I'll take 15 minutes over the 5 minutes at an open mic. Absolutely, because I could just keep making 15-minute video after 15-minute video. At an open mic, you're not going to get 5 minutes after 5 minutes after. You're lucky if you get your 5 minutes, But I wanted to talk, all kidding aside, all seriousness aside, I wanted to talk about New Yorkers, because I think New Yorkers get a bad rap, folks. And I don't think New Yorkers are that bad. Honestly, I grew up in New York. I know what New Yorkers are like. They're not so bad. They're pretty cool. You make a conversation with somebody in Brooklyn or Queens, just talk about the traffic, talk about their favorite sports. Yeah, forget about it. They'll always be happy to talk about what's on the cover of the New York Post or the Daily News or the New York Times. It's not the people, it's not the native New Yorkers who are the problem, folks. It's the people who move into New York who create the problem. And I'm not talking about other countries. This is not an anti-immigrant rant. This is actually the people who move into New York City from other states. Yeah, other people who think that they have to make it in New York. And it's okay. Yeah, you want to make it, you usually go to LA or you go to New York. But doesn't mean you have to go to New York and act like an asshole. But a lot of them do. That's why New York has a bad rap for people being cold or snobby or snooty or arrogant, because they think that they have to move to New York and act like they're cool, like they're all that. They're moving for some farm in Idaho or Wyoming. So the first thing they do when they move to a little flat in New York is they get themselves a black pair of Converse sneakers and a black bicycle and a black pair of plastic horn-rimmed glasses and then a black overcoat. And then suddenly now they're a hipster. And now when they go to the open mics, they can look all sophisticated with their little notebooks and their pen and their phone. And you try to say hello to them, and then when they laugh and they chuckle when you're up and you're set, all you get is a little try driving. Anybody here ever driven a taxi cab in New York City? I know a lot of you hate taxi drivers. You think taxi drivers are assholes, but I've driven a cab, and I'm a nice guy. Do all of it? Maybe I am a jerk sometimes, aren't we all? But I've driven people around New York City, and it doesn't make a difference how nice you are. If you're going to get a nasty, snobby, stuck-up person, they're going to act that way. Please stop me off at 3rd Avenue and 22nd, the far east corner, please. The near south corner. Why are we in Denver? Why are we taking this route? Because the GPS told me to take it that way. That's what, when you drive taxi or Uber drivers, the customers get angry at you if the GPS is taking you the wrong way. You're supposed to know where you're going, and you know your regular routes, but sometimes they give you these far-fetched routes, which you don't know, so you rely upon the GPS. Well, if you know where you're going, then why don't you tell me where you're going and giving me a hard time because of GPS? So they think that you're trying to overcharge them on the meter. This is how people are. I remember one time I was driving someone in a cab, and I swear to God, I sneezed like 20 times. Not one, God bless you. However, when the customers will be sneezing in the back seat and I said, God bless you, I would not even get a thank you. The bottom line, bringing back to the point, New Yorkers are okay. It's the people who move in to New York. New York has become such a different place over the past 50 years. You have so many different like nations and cultures and people walking around. Half the people walking around the street probably have never even heard of the songs that were popular in New York decades ago. Like probably maybe one fraction of the people walking around Harlem know about Look Across 110th Street by Bobby Womack. Or maybe 1% of New Yorkers know about Driving Around Manhattan. There was a popular song called Harlem River Drive by Bobby Humphrey in early 1970s or 1973. I know this is not funny, but it's okay. I'm allowed not to be funny because nobody's watching right now. Now is the time. Like Charlie Parker sang, ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. You're in the army now. You're in the army now. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. You're in YouTube now. You're in the YouTube now. You're not making any money. Nobody's watching you now, but you got to keep going. What time is it? 15-minute limit coming up. I better stop. Thanks for tuning in, folks. See you tomorrow.